What's goody? It's your girl, Queen G22, and you are now in the Lioness Den, where I like to talk about Ninja Turtles, gaming, geek stuff, and travel. So if any of that's your vibe, you are in the right spot. I am headed to Fire and Ice Games today, and not just any regular day of retro shopping. Going to Fire and Ice Games, it's inevitable that your girl is going to leave there with something. I'm definitely going to do some shopping, but the reason why I'm going today, and some of y'all, I suggest you sit down for this, I am headed in there to turn in my Sega Game Gear. Now, to trade in would make sense, right? Sega. We all know how much I adore Sega. But no, I am headed to Fire and Ice Games to meet a gentleman who goes by Retro Blake, and he says that he can mod my Game Gear. Now, I know some of y'all are freaking out. Wait a minute, what? Yes, I do have a special place in my heart for Sega Game Gear. Only the Game Gear. And quick story, which some of you already know, and that is because when I was younger, I was a child, my brother was gifted, I believe, maybe a birthday or Christmas or something, the Game Boy. And I didn't have anything. So it took me a while, but I used up my allowance and I went and I got a Game Gear for two reasons. One, I didn't want to have the same thing that he had. And two, the Game Gear had color. It had a color screen. So I had a Sega Game Gear growing up, and then when I was getting ready to go to college, when I came back from college, my Game Gear was gone, right? My parents had sold it, or I had sold it right before I left because I wasn't playing it, because I was interested in people and not gaming. So yeah, I had a Game Gear and I sold it. I bought one at 1UP Retro the other day. I saw it and it just brought back all these memories, and I was like, you know what? I do miss playing my Game Gear. So I bought one from 1UP Retro, but looking at this mother, it is beat to shit. It's definitely not a representation of how I keep my consoles, which is pristine condition. So it's ugly, and so I'm going to give it a complete makeover. I've picked out a kit, and the screen is kind of dull, so I'm hoping that I can get an upgraded screen to have a nice bright looking screen, and whatever else he thinks he can do to it. So let's go down to Fire and Ice, and let's meet Retro Blake. Well, I just dropped my shit, so let's make sure this thing still works. As always, Fire and Ice comes through with the hitters. Ooh, Prince of Persia. Wasn't I just talking about I should try that game? Look at this added rack of games that they've added. Dude, they've got all these shelves of PlayStation games. This is ridiculous. I'm tempted to pick up that Virtual Boy. Not really to play it, but just to have it. Pretty sick. This.
Go all the way down.
What's in the question mark area? Is that just like an area to kick it? Yeah.
There's graded games in there now.
Oh my God. All right on. So I have found Retro Blake, right?
Yes.
And I will have his info in the description. Okay, so I want you to take a look at this first.
Okay.
Can you just, okay, so that was not mine, all right? Mine, I had to sell it.
Okay.
And I bought this at 1UP Retro. Shout out to 1UP Retro. But it's beat up.
It's been loved.
It's been loved.
It's been loved.
So I want you to see it and then show us or what parts, the kit that I thought would be cool, and you said you thought it would be cool. Oh yeah, I left the batteries in there.
Of course, totally fine.
It works, but yeah, the screen is a little dull, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the screens that came out were fantastic with these. I mean, they were way ahead of their time when it came to like your Game Gear. But I am very excited to get the upgrade.
Cool.
And the color palette you chose was fantastic. So
fantastic.
Nice cream look. This is all the before stuff.
Cream, y'all.
That's
cream.
Right. I love it. Silky, sweet. I like it. Goes really well.
Something different, right?
And then I like that you chose this color purple.
We love purple. Okay, so this is gonna completely replace this
Yes,
part right here.
Yes,
okay.
it is. And it's gonna be, so it's gonna be a brand new IPS LED screen underneath.
Okay.
And then the front glass is just gonna be protective. So like, let's say down the road you ever wanted to change that color, we could totally do that too.
Oh, you mean change this thing?
Yeah.
I get that.
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
I don't know, because purple is one of my favorite colors.
I figured.
So,
you made the decision outright, and I think you made the right decision. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we can always change.
Okay, so I got buttons too, right?
Yes, you did. We have all the ingredients to make the world go round here.
Oh, so you're already
I'm ready to go.
Right on.
I'm gonna get to work on this as soon as I can so I can get it right back to you, okay? Yeah, of course.
I didn't know what your ETA was, but I was assuming the worst, so I was thinking like 6 months.
Give me a couple days. I should have it.
That's it?
Oh yeah.
Boom.
I'm determined.
Right on.
Yes, and we've got the matching buttons and then the membranes that go underneath, so that way it's gonna feel like it's a brand new console whenever you're playing it.
So all of these cracks right here, you're not gonna see that, right?
Not at all.
All that stuff's gonna be gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be-
I'm basically replacing this whole entire thing.
You are. So the original screen, this one's kind of like bubbled up, so you can see, like, it's a nice texture and everything, but that was
Yeah.
kind of made for its protection. The glass you're gonna be using now is a little bit more flush, so it's not gonna be like
Pop up like
yeah, it's not
that.
gonna be super raised.
Well, I don't care about that part. I think this is gonna look really sexy.
I love it.
And I got the matching buttons. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, and the world of a difference that you're gonna see when this is turned on, dull is a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
The upgrade is gonna be entirely different.
Ooh, I'm excited. It's gonna be bright too, though,
Very
right?
bright. Very
This is brand new. Is this aftermarket or is this like from
Aftermarket,
Sega? Okay.
Yeah, no aftermarket stuff.
No
so that way
warranty.
it's pretty new, but I'm gonna make sure that whenever it goes all together, I'm gonna make sure it's 100% tested. Not gonna have any flaws, so when I get it back to you, it's gonna be perfect.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited.
I'm glad that I found you.
I'm glad you found us.
Your boy, Ryan.
Yes, Ryan here at Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Shout out again to Ryan. No, he's busy. He posted one of your works that you did.
Yeah.
It's the Game Boy
Yeah.
modification, right?
I've been doing them for the store mostly, but now that I've kind of gotten more word out there, I've been doing more and more for custom work.
Right on.
And so I've been able to customize consoles. I do some repairs on them as well, especially if they need some love. But my favorite thing to do is like the handhelds.
Okay.
The stuff that travels with you. It's that perfect nostalgic feel of, I know you're on a road trip, or you get on the plane now, you're gonna
Yeah.
take a vacation. Everybody can like scroll through whatever on their phone,
Right.
using the Wi-Fi, but there is something different about playing with a handheld console.
There really is.
really is.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm late to Nintendo DS.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so I mean, because all that stuff, I'm old, right? So all that stuff came out when I was like occupied with other people, right?
Understand.
Other
Life
things.
goes on.
And so I just got into Nintendo DS, and dude, I love bringing that little thing with
Yeah.
me. It's convenient, it's cool, and like what you said, bringing the nostalgic feeling
Yeah.
with you is just, it's different. Like I find myself playing that sometimes while I'm on the go,
Yeah.
more than I'm playing my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I'll bring out my Nintendo DS,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And it's a nice like separation because like I was saying, whenever people are like playing games on their phone, you get distracted.
Yeah.
You play other things. You can really lose yourself
Right.
in the classic handhelds.
This is really exciting for me. I had the whole caboodle. I had that big ass case,
Yeah.
right? With
Yeah.
like hella games stacked in there.
Yeah.
I had the magnifying glass. I had the antenna thing.
Okay.
I had everything.
You had every accessory under the sun.
Shout out to my mother. She made me sell it because I was moving out, right? So having this back, but you know, just looking different is it's gonna hit different.
It is absolutely.
I'm
gonna hit
excited,
different.
and I appreciate you taking the time with me.
That's one thing about, especially when it comes to like, I know this isn't your childhood one.
Right,
When it
yeah.
comes to some people, all they had was their childhood Game Boy that like it's broken now or something's wrong or they
Yeah.
just want to get it to look nicer. That's one thing that I want to make 100% sure you make the right decision, that you actually want to upgrade it, that it's going to be exactly how you want it to look whenever we're done.
Right.
Because I'm handling your baby. you
Yeah,
know?
this,
So
I mean, yeah, this isn't the one that I had, but this is like now my baby, which gives me the feels of, you know, back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah, so when you send me 1,000 questions, I am okay with answering 1,000 questions.
I appreciate that. Keep that in mind. Now, I might be jumping the gun, but I'm feeling good about this, right? So where can people reach you for when they want to do mods, or are you not advertising?
Yeah, I'm absolutely advertising. I mean,
Okay.
I just started putting my name out there. Like I said, I've been doing it for the store, but now I'm kind of doing it on my own. So
Okay.
my Instagram is retro.blake. Search me up. You'll see the projects that I've completed and put out. A lot of them have sold already. So if you want to get something done, you'll have to reach out and we'll get something made for you.
And I will have Retro Blake's info in the description, like I said earlier. So I'm gonna leave this with you.
Yes.
And we will come back in a few days or whenever when it's ready and see the transformation. This ugly mother sucker, and its new outfit. I'm excited. Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Very much.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Look at this collection of Super Nintendo games. Now, before I was only interested in collecting complete in box, so more so of having them on display. But now that my Super Nintendo, I know for sure, is working and soon to be modded, let's see if we can pick up some games to play. Y'all remember Claymaster? Dude, I love that game, or Clay Fighter. Wasn't very good at it, but I loved it. Donkey Kong Country 2, however, I do want that game complete in box to complete my set. I've got Donkey Kong Country 3 and Donkey Kong Country 1 and Donkey Kong Country 3 complete in box. I think I want that Donkey Kong 2 complete in box as well. Turtles in Time, we love to see it. Right? Am I right? I'm right. Got some Game Boy Colors, some modded Game Boys, 3DSs, good stuff. It even got a little area of plushies. Aren't these cute? This little baby Mario. Oh no! I do not have a Diddy Kong. Oh, do I need that Diddy Kong? I have plenty Donkey Kongs, but I don't have any Diddy Kongs. Links. Very cool. Do that dance, Mario. All right, so we didn't do too much damage. Only spent a couple $100. Fire and ice. It's a nice, rainy, windy day out here in Northern California. So I'm excited, right? Dude is ready. He's already got the kits. He's good to go. He said it's only gonna be a few days. So I don't know, maybe that'll be a little weekend gift for myself to see my brand new Game Gear. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are back. It has been a few months, all right? Retro Blake has had my Game Gear for a minute now, but he says that it's ready. He says that I can come pick it up, which I'm assuming means even if he's not at the store that I can still get my Game Gear today. So we're gonna go down there. And I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. I'm a lot nervous. I'm nervous for a few things. I'm nervous because what if I don't like the modification? What if I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, you know? But then what if I love it? So I'm also excited. I can't wait to get my Game Gear. But the other reason why I'm very nervous, is because today has potential to be very expensive. And I wasn't even really planning on spending money like that today. But late last night, Fire and Ice posted that they had a massive trade-in. Like they cashed somebody out for $5,000. And as he was kind of quickly going over some of the stuff that they brought in, I picked up, quickly some Super Nintendo complete in boxes that I would not mind having in my collection. So, how much am I gonna drop on those? I don't know. And then also, since I'm picking up my Game Gear, I might as well get some Game Gear games. And I also just recently got a modded Game Boy Advance, so I might as well look at the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy games, right? And I'm playing my DS all the time, so I might as well look at the DS games. Today could be expensive, so I'm nervous about that, because I'm feeling myself a little bit. The sun's out, my car is clean, I got a fresh touch-up on my ceramic paint. It's a beautiful day, I don't look amazing. I just got done with my workout, slapped some earrings on, and I'm like, let's go. But still, it's a good day to spend some money. So today could be expensive, but let's go see if my Game Gear is ready, and let's see if my modification is a yay or nay. All right, y'all, so I'm back in here and I'm already starting to get overwhelmed. I briefly talked to Ryan and I was incorrect. They didn't break them off $5,000, they broke that person off 5 figures. So yeah, Monster Trade, he's still putting tags on it and I'm looking at all these games. These Game Boy games. I'm thinking about this Donkey Kong Land 2. I see the Radical Rescue. But I think I'd rather have that game complete in box. I just got back to the sewers, but I got that complete in box. But y'all know I love me some Dr. Mario, so I think I'm gonna pick that up as well. I'm not really seeing any Game Boy Advance games that I wanna pick up, but it's still early. Actively searching for the Game Gear, and I think they've located it. Oh boy. Alrighty. Here it is. Look at this. Woo. Check this out, y'all. Isn't this absolutely beautiful? This is dope. All right, let's see if we can turn it on. He did not return my batteries, but this is awesome. So we're gonna take this back home, put some batteries in it, and put a game in it, and see what's up. Current graded games that they have. This is pretty sick. Okay, so it's located Super Mario Kart, Turtles in Time, and Super Mario Brothers 2. Super Mario Brothers 2 looks really good, and it's got some of the original shrink wrap still on it. So look at the edges on this one. This is pretty crisp. This is a good looking copy. Happy with this. Now this Turtles in Time, as you all know, I have one, but I think my box is a fake, but I don't think this would get a grade higher than a 7 if I were to turn it in. So probably just pass on this one. And the Super Mario Kart, it looks pretty good. I wouldn't get this graded. I would have to keep this complete in box and play it. So yeah, you guys let me know in the comments what do you guys think about these copies. Alrighty, so I didn't do too bad. I only spent like $400. Got my bag here, got my Game Gear. So I'm gonna hop in the car, show you what I walked out with. Then we're gonna go back to his house, jump into the Lioness Den, put some batteries in my Game Gear and see what that's looking like. Yeah, it's a good day. Alrighty, so I think I did pretty good for $400. As you can see, I did pick up that pretty good Super Mario Kart complete in box. I'm happy about this. I've always wanted that. I did go ahead and grab that Super Mario Brothers 2. This looks, I mean, this is in impeccable, exquisite condition. I'm very happy to have this one. I picked up Wolfchild. Now this is beat to hell, right? Still got some of its original paper on it, but you know, the corners are kind of jacked up. But this game does not get talked about a lot. It's kind of rare, but this game is hella fun. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll do a playthrough and we can peep this game out. I wasn't really looking to get this game complete in box. I really just wanted the cartridge, but this is what they had, so why not, right? And what else? I picked up Prince of Persia on the Super Nintendo. If you peeked my video where I did the Prince of Persia on the Switch, dude, that kickstarted me a whole thing. I'm a Prince of Persia fan now. So I got a Prince of Persia, what is that? Battles of Prince of Persia and Prince of Persia something else for the DS. So I'm kind of Prince of Persia'd out. And then I picked up Aladdin for my Game Gear. We'll pop that in. And Donkey Kong Land 2 for Game Boy. I am a huge Donkey Kong fan. And then the last thing it looks like is Dr. Mario. I love me some Dr. Mario. I used to play this game all the time with my mother. And this is actually a game that you won't hear me say I suck at. I'm not bad at it. Like I'm pretty good. So that is gonna be my pickups. That's a good day. Now let's go back and see what this Game Gear looks like. All right, y'all, let's see what this is all about. Ooh! Ooh, look at that vanilla Game Gear with the purple. Okay, dude, this is so different and a little bit of sexiness. I am a fan. He did a fantastic job on this. Just look at this. I mean, it looks like it was really just made this way. All right, so let's just pop some batteries in it and see if Retro Blake hooked your girl up. Pop these off. I apologize for the special shot you get here. Remember back in the day we used to steal batteries from remotes after 10 minutes of playing this thing because the Game Gear would take up so much battery strength. It wouldn't even last very long. All right, we got our batteries. Let's pop in one of the games that I got today, which would be Aladdin. Shout out to Fire and Ice. Pop that in there like that there. Alrighty, let's power this bitch on. Oh, look at that bright ass screen. Goddamn. Where's the volume? Jesus. Can y'all see this? Oh my God, look how loud it gets. Oh, snap. This looks amazing. Wow. Oh my God, he killed it with this. Dun, dun, dun. Why am I only playing on part of the screen though? But that's cool. Oh, maybe because of talking or whatever. Dun, 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 dun. Oh shit, I'm playing. I love this. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, bye, dude. Oh. Okay, this looks absolutely amazing. New bright ass screen. He put in the tactical buttons so it plays well, it feels good, and it looks amazing. I am a happy girl. So what do you guys think? If you can't tell from my face, dude, I love this thing. It's beautiful, it plays well, it sounds amazing. This was a awesome modification. This was not a fail. This turned out exactly how I envisioned it. Retro Blake, you have my business for life, sir. Now you got me looking around trying to figure out something to mod. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this modification? Do you have anything modded? And yeah, I'm Queen G22.